A controversial education bill is racing toward a full vote in the Iowa House and Senate. Days after Iowans packed the state house to have their say, Governor Reynolds' school choice plan could receive approval in both chambers as soon as next week. The plan would give any student, regardless of family income, about $7,600 a year if they switch from public to private school.
Some current private school students would qualify as well, and also under this plan, public schools would receive $1,200 for each student that decides to leave. New at 6, KCCI's Amanda Rooker is live at the State House. She's our chief political reporter, where this Republican-led bill, Amanda, is racing toward the finish line.
Stacey, Steve, this bill is moving very quickly, and compare that to last session. A very similar bill moved so slowly that it kept lawmakers here for over a month as session dragged on. Well, obviously a very different change of pace this year. We're just 2 weeks since the start of session, and this bill is already eligible for a full vote in the House and Senate.
With approval Thursday from the Senate Appropriations Committee.
The record roll call says there are 12 yeses, 6 noes, and the bill passes.
The governor's plan to use taxpayer dollars to pay private school tuition is now ready for a full vote in the House and Senate. Similar bills the last 2 sessions have not been able to get past the Iowa House. But Republican House Speaker Pat Grassley says this year he expects he'll have enough votes to pass the plan.
I don't think I'd be moving the bill along throughout the process if we didn't have that expectation.
Democrats argue that could change if Iowans call their lawmakers over the weekend.
Remind your legislators that we don't work for the governor. We work for constituents.
The action comes just 2 weeks after the start of session. Republicans argue they've done their due diligence.
I've been very clear and transparent with what the cost impacts would be, $341 million once fully implemented, roughly 42,000 students. All that information is available.
Democrats say it's moving too fast, especially for a state house with so many new members.
They're still learning, where everything is and how to file a bill. So this deserves more contemplation, more time.
A full vote in the House and Senate is expected next week, and controversy continues over whether the plan will improve choice and school instruction for all Iowans or leave public school students with less money and a lesser education.
There is no requirement that private schools take students with disabilities. They get to determine literally any criteria they'd like. If a student wants to go to a school and isn't Christian and it's a Christian school, that school is not required to accept that student. So these taxpayer dollars are going to schools that get to pick and choose which students they have.
This isn't about public versus private. I know everybody likes to make it that way. It's about us taking our responsibility diligently and educating every student in the state of Iowa to the best of our ability.
Now, looking at the specific text of this bill, we don't know if it would be the Department of Education that would oversee the implementation of this bill, or if the Department of Education would hire an outside organization to track things like the education savings accounts and how parents are using the money that they're given through these accounts. Talking about costs, we don't know what it would cost to administer this plan. We also only have cost estimates right now from the partisan Department of Management and from the governor's office. Usually the nonpartisan Legislative Services Agency releases their own evaluation of how this would impact the state budget. Because things are moving so fast, we still don't have that. But we do expect, with or without a Legislative Services Agency fiscal note, that we'll see a full House vote in the House and Senate, a full vote in the House and Senate by next week. Well, I'm live from the State House. Amanda Rooker, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.